Hi, I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World. Welcome to Dr. Boyce and Nomalanga. I'm here with Nomalanga Mushali Moses from HealthyBlackWoman.com. How you doing today, Noma?
I'm doing great, boys. How are you?
I'm doing really well, really well. Now, you were bringing something to me about Janay Rice. Janay Rice is the wife of NFL star Ray Rice, who was infamously punched in an elevator by her husband, which was an incident that's obviously quite unacceptable. Since that time, there's been a lot of back and forth in the media about what to do with Ray, how he should be dealt with and condemned, and or should he be condemned, stuff like that. What's the latest development on the situation with Janae and Ray?
Well, there's a lot of stories circulating the internet, and I know there's one at Naturally Moi where they're talking about how she's finally opening up about what happened. And to be honest, it feels a lot like she's explaining it. And to me, when she explained it, I did kind of feel like, okay, maybe he did get a worse reputation than he deserves. He deserves a bad reputation if you knock out a woman with a punch. But I think we were harder on him than he deserved. And just to share a little bit of what I read is she says that they were both under a lot of pressure. He was in training. Obviously, he has a tough career. She said she just had a baby and she felt like he was not helping her, not helping with diapers. She was hardly getting any sleep. He wasn't getting hardly any sleep. And anybody who's ever had a little baby in the house knows that that can happen and carry on for months at a time. So she says they were both very stressed, both very tired. And when that incident happened, they had finally gone out together and, got drunk. And then when they compounded that with the fights that had been going on, it escalated. She says that she was confronting him about all, not helping her, not being supportive, and they have a baby. He was under pressure from whatever his team was putting him under, and the fight escalated and he punched her. Now, not excusing him punching her, but when you take all the facts into consideration, and I've looked, I have not found any information that says that there were other incidents other than that one. So I think we have to take the whole thing and look at it a little bit differently. What do you think?
Well, I will say that the alcohol part, surprise, surprise, there's alcohol, right? And alcohol is almost always in the background whenever people just do things that might ruin their lives. That's why alcohol was actually voted the most dangerous drug in the world, because more so than crack or heroin or anything, because Americans believe alcohol is okay because it's legal. We don't understand how many people die under the influence, how many people get sexually assaulted, physically assaulted, drunk driving accidents, arrests, things like that that occur under the influence of alcohol. In fact, I don't know if you knew this, Noma, but in the year 1830, the average American drank the equivalent of 88 bottles of whiskey a year. Did you know that? Yes. Yes, we've been a bunch of alcoholics. Yeah, I mean, our country, and we don't. So, if in fact we drink a lot now, but we don't drink nearly as much today as we did back then. And so, my point in all this is to say that I warn young people all the time: be very very careful when you're talking about alcohol, because you might do something on one night, one drunken night, that you may not even remember. That can put you in prison for the rest of your life. They can ruin everything you've worked for, take away everything you've got. And speaking of taking away everything you've got, I think that with Ray, I think it's not, the question is not. See, people try to simplify the question. They try to simplify it to good or bad. Either you think Ray Rice was wrong, or you think that what he did was okay. It's not that simple. Everyone knows that what he did was wrong. At least everybody in their right mind knows that you can't go, haul off. First of all, you shouldn't. Violence has no place in a relationship, so you shouldn't hit your spouse. Period. But you're a big, strong football player. You have no business hitting a small or even a big woman, hitting anybody. You're Ray Rice. And so we know that that's agreed upon. But the question at that point becomes, what's the appropriate punishment? And I think that's where politics has gotten into this couple's relationship. There were people who felt that because of what Ray did on one drunken night, he should lose his wife, lose his child, lose his career forever. I mean, are you kidding me? How stupid are you? How ridiculous is that to think that a mistake that a person makes on one night should lead to them being condemned forever? No, that's crazy. And in fact, if you had taken a vote and said, how many of you think Ray Rice should be in prison for 40 years? A lot of people would have said, yes, put him in prison for 40 years. And that's stupid. That's just crazy. So I think that you have to make sure the punishment fits the crime. Obviously needed some counseling, relationship counseling, and otherwise. She needed counseling. Um, People got upset because I supported Janay's effort to speak on her own behalf. You got all these fools out here that are trying to politicize your relationship, trying to destroy the life of your child by telling you to throw out the child's father over one incident, and you don't even get a say in this. I find it so funny that the feminists were so much in support of Janay until Janay started speaking for herself. Then it's like, "Oh, girl, you're stupid. You don't have a voice. So you're not empowering women. You're oppressing this woman's right to do what's best for her family." What kind of idiot are you at that point? So that's how I feel about this. I feel that they did exactly what they were supposed to do. They made the decision that was best for their family on their own without letting other people tell them what to do. And now Ray's going to play football again. He's going back to the NFL. The man has suffered. He's lost millions of dollars. He lost his contract. The public hates him. That should be enough. Now let this family heal and let them raise this child in the best environment possible with her father in the household. That's my synopsis on the whole thing.
Um, I actually agree with most of what you're saying. It was her decision to make. Although we do have to consider that sometimes women who are abused and battered don't make good decisions. And I think that's what some people were thinking, that maybe she's not thinking clearly. When you've been abused a long time, it really does color how you make decisions, and they're usually not good ones. Having said that, and having listened to Janae speaking and seeing how things have unfolded, I'm hopeful. I feel like that was a wake up call for them. It's funny how sometimes when you're dysfunctional, you may not realize that you're dysfunctional. And then it takes one whack in the head and the person's knocked out and everybody saw it and everybody's talking about it. And then you step back and think, wow, whoa, what's really screwed up? So maybe we need to fix this. And I think that may be what happened to them. And I think that they did go ahead and try and take the steps that they needed to kind of repair their relationship and heal and do that. And I hope it's an ongoing process. So, the rest remains to be seen. If he really is an abuser, he will do something to her again. That's how it goes.
Hmm.
And if this was an isolated incident and something escalated and got out of control, and they did do things to try and repair their relationship and heal and forgive and all these other things, then we'll never hear about them again. So it remains to be seen.
Well, you know what? Anybody who doesn't understand a lot of this, go look at the Ray Rice's Wikipedia page, and what you're going to find out is that he and his wife, if I'm not mistaken, are like 27 years old, maybe 28. They're babies. I mean, they are young. They're just getting started as a family. They're gonna make mistakes. And so in this situation, the question is, when you see these mistakes, do you destroy and demolish the family, or do you help them rebuild and restructure their family in a healthy way? Do you help them rehabilitate that family? I'm a fan of the rehabilitation process, unless it is somehow proven at some point that Ray is so mentally dysfunctional that he just wants to keep beating up on his wife. Obviously, that's not acceptable. Men can't do that. We know that. But the idea that you will the idea that a man can say what I just said, the idea that a man can say it's not acceptable for a man to hit a woman, but yet still be called sexist because he doesn't believe in destroying every man who makes a mistake or whatever, that right there is the problem. You got these political extremes where people somehow convince whoever that fathers aren't needed in the house, and that any little mistake that he makes, any little indiscretion, anything that goes wrong, you need to get him out of the house because he's a virus, he's a poison. And then at the same time, you got all these kids that are living in these single parent households. Kids are freaking miserable. Not all of them, but a lot of them have serious disorders because they feel that that something's wrong. They feel that their fathers don't love them because they can't see them every day. They're not protected by their dad, so many of them are getting molested. You have a much higher probability of being molested in a single parent home than when your father is there to protect you, because that's what your father's supposed to do. He protects his kids. And people, for some reason, we've been so brainwashed that we forget all this. We see all the data, we ignore the data, because we want to believe that somehow the father is not a necessary component of the home. And I think that's as ridiculous as saying that the mother is not a necessary component of the home. I know that if my mother hadn't been in the house, I would have been devastated. I would be so screwed up. I probably wouldn't be talking to you right now. I'd probably be in rehab or in therapy or something right now. I wouldn't even be functional enough to really do what I do every day. So that's all I just really want to say. I wish this family the best, and I hope they move forward in a safe, happy, healthy environment. And Ray, if you hit your wife one more time, I ain't gonna have no mercy on you, man, because I think that first hit was more than enough, and it was entirely unacceptable. So thank you very much, Norman Lang. I appreciate it.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Yes, and thank you all for checking us out. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from YourBlackWorld.net, and this is Nomalanga Mushali Moses from HealthyBlackWoman.com, and she also owns TheBlackHomeschool.com. And also, please go check out our new film, Resurrecting Black Wall Street, where we talk about the Black Wall Street Massacre back in 1921. You can support the film, which I hope you will please, please, please support at ResurrectingBlackWallStreet.com. That's ResurrectingBlackWallStreet.com. Until we meet again, please stay strong, be blessed, and be educated. We are gone. Peace.